Hey, Denise. It's been a heckin' long time. How have you been, girl? How long's it been? We must be going on 7 years now. Damn, it flew by. Feels like all that stuff went down a lifetime ago, and at the same time, it's like it was yesterday. It's funny how that works, huh?
Sorry, but would you mind telling me who you are?
You kidding me? It's me, Biff, you donut. Couldn't you tell? 'Cause I'm messaging you from a different number.
Huh?
What do you mean, huh? It's me, Biff, your ex-boyfriend. Hang on, maybe that's not the best way of wording it. Your beloved ex-boyfriend and favorite person in the whole wide world, Biff. That's better. Remember me now?
If you're going to talk nonsense, would you mind doing it when I'm not busy? I get the impression you didn't message me for any real reason in particular, so if you'll excuse me, I'll be going now.
Hey, come on, Denise. I obviously did message you for a reason. Otherwise, I wouldn't be messaging you, would I? But quit jumping to conclusions and hear me out, alright? Sheesh.
Fine, what do you want? You better make it quick.
I decided to take you back.
Excuse me?
That's right. You heard me. I bet you're not so eager to get back to work right now, huh? It's an attractive offer, right? Right?
Which part of what you just said is attractive?
Huh?
7 years ago, when I was 26, you said to me you were bored of me because I was a worn-out old hag well past my prime and broke up with me, describing me as being on the wrong side of 30. After that, you immediately got with an 18-year-old fresh out of college intern from our workplace. Does any of this ring any bells, Biff?
Sure, everything you say is true. It's not like I deny it, but I was young back then, babe. I've matured a lot since then.
You were turning 31 years old, 5 years older than me.
Men and women age differently. Unlike a woman, a man hits his prime when he turns 30. Women? Well, I hate to say this, babe, but it's all downhill from there. Things that used to be beautiful and plump start sagging. Things that used to shimmer and glow start wrinkling up. Basically, 30 is where women hit the wall.
In that case, why on earth would you be interested in getting back with me? I'm 33 now. I shouldn't have to spell it out, but that means I'm older than I was when you broke up with me. You don't think time froze and I stayed 26 this whole time, right?
Don't be silly, babe. That's clearly ridiculous. I forget how funny you can be sometimes, Denise. I always did like that about you.
Alright, so I take it we're done here?
Wait, why?
Because me and you are not getting back together. What else is there for us to discuss? You're doing nothing but wasting my valuable time here.
No, wait just a sec, damn it. It's been so long since we spoke. Are you really going to dip out on me like this? Let's at least chat a little while longer. You know, reminisce over the good old days. Talk about what we've been up to all this time.
Do you really think I have that much free time on my hands?
Whatever. Don't worry about that. I'm sure whatever stuff you need to do can wait. Sometimes it's good to catch up with an old flame, you know? Hey, wait a sec. What's wrong, babe? Scared you, I don't know, catch feelings from me again? I guess I wouldn't blame you if you did.
Ew, that's one of the cringiest things I've ever heard.
Cringy? Hey, whatever. Look, I guess I always admired how you said exactly what was on your mind. You're kind of cute when you get all feisty, you know, babe.
Yep, gross.
Anyway, I heard some stuff. Is it true you changed jobs after we broke up? Heard you landed a job at a major New York-based company.
What's it to you?
Well, me and the girl you just mentioned actually moved to New York after the breakup. A crazy coincidence, right?
I knew that. So what?
Wait, you did?
Of course I did. I worked in the department next door on the same floor as you both. She was an intern being trained up on your department after graduating college, right? What was her name again? Was it Rena? How could I forget the time the two of you skipped across the office holding hands while singing, "We're going to New York," to hand in your resignation letter to the manager? I swear it was the most embarrassing, vomit-inducing thing I've ever seen. I could tell your head was so clouded by your feelings for her you'd completely lost all of your rational decision-making skills, because why the heck else would a fully grown man act like a 12-year-old kid in front of his coworkers like that?
I see. Is that really how happy we look back then?
I guess happy is one word for it, but some might prefer to describe it as hopelessly delusional or maybe childish.
I see. Well, I get what this is. I didn't realize how jealous we were making you at the time, babe. I'm sorry. It must have really sucked to see your man having such a great time with another woman like that.
Jealousy? Don't flatter yourself. I am obviously insulting you, you pea-brain.
I guess the fact that you thought about it that much betrays just how much you cared about me. I guess I can't blame you. You're hardly going to find anyone else up to my standard. I'm handsome, charismatic, funny, confident, capable, modest. I basically have every positive characteristic a guy can have.
Wow. Everything you just said is so absurd, I don't even know how to reply to it. Anyway, the bottom line is that it's not how people act in the workplace, especially not when they're handing in their resignation letters. It was honestly awkward to witness, and I wasn't the only one at the office who thought so.
Well, I guess we were young. That's just how people are around that age. You're overthinking this.
Young? Are you for real? You were 31 years old, Biff. If you think that justifies elementary school level behavior in the workplace, I think this conversation is beyond my capabilities. How about, I don't know, seeing a shrink maybe?
Geez, Denise, how about you give me a break for once? Can't we just let bygones be bygones? I've grown a lot as a person since then, so you don't have to worry about me doing anything crazy anymore.
Who you are now is totally irrelevant to me, and I literally could not care less.
Quit sulking, it's petty. Look, babe, I admire your feisty stubbornness, I really do. Look, if anything, I like it more when you're like this, because when you play hard to get, your cute side comes out.
So?
Huh?
So what do you want?
What do you mean?
It's been 7 years. The reason we broke up in the first place was because you were horrible to me about my age. Do you have any idea how crappy you saying all those things made me feel? I'm 33 years old now. Why would you want us to get back together after all this time? I just don't get it. None of what you're saying makes any sense at all.
How to put this? I'm bored of dating younger girls now. First of all, we have nothing to talk about. I don't even know what half the crap these young girls babble on about these days. What even is a TikTok? Never heard of it. Maybe that wouldn't be such a big deal. Because it's not like I date them for their personalities. I date them for their butts, boobs, and pretty faces, and I ain't ashamed to deny it, but the problem is that these young girls' values and money sense is totally different to mine. Oh yeah, not to forget the most important one, I got frickin' cheated on.
Wow.
That girl, Rena, she said she'd rather be with a young, handsome guy close to her age. Look, babe, what I'm about to tell you never leaves this chat, okay? But she said to me, I could never be satisfied with an old man like you. You just don't stimulate me in the right places.
Oh my God, Biff. That was so rude. Oh, please forgive me. Okay, I'll calm down, I promise. Rena must be, 25 now? And you're 38? I see. It wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world if your stamina levels and, urges weren't very well matched to one another?
Who knows? Maybe. The bottom line is, we broke up. I still feel kind of pathetic over the whole thing. Look, it was only a few weeks ago. Anyway, I thought this would be the perfect opportunity for me and you to get back together. You know, rekindle our old flame. So what do you say, sugar tits? Should we make another go of it? We're both in our 30s now, and I'm only 5 years older than you, so I doubt we'll even notice the difference. Besides, when you think about it, it's pretty obvious that this is the best opportunity you're ever going to get. You're 33 and well past your prime, so let's get back together. You must be seriously panicking about the prospect of never finding a man who'll marry you, right? Well, here I am, the solution to your problem.
And what, that's supposed to be why I'm supposed to come running back into your arms? Have you been smoking crack?
Come on, Denise, look, the whole hard-to-get thing is wearing thin now. This is obviously a crazy good offer for you. All right, well, that settles it. Me and you are officially a couple again. Excellent, superb, fantastic, magnificent. I can't wait for the make-up lovemaking. Okay, babe, I'll head over to your place. Tell me your address and I'll be on my way.
Why?
Oh, 'cause starting today I'll be moving in with you. Me and you are going to be living together again, baby. Ain't that great?
Biff, I'm already married.
To me, seriously. Would you just be honest with me for a change? Look, you must be overwhelmed with joy at the chance to get back with a stud like me. So why not just admit it?
I'm overwhelmed with something, but it isn't joy. Try disgust.
I'm not kidding, babe. If you're not honest with me now, I'm not going to hang around forever. If I change my mind now, I'll never give you another chance. Look, I know this whole thing must feel a little weird for you, what with us having been apart these last 7 years, but that measly 7-year gap will feel like it never happened after one night of hot, steamy romance. And before you know it, the flame of our passion will be rekindled.
You are literally the biggest cringe lord I've ever had the misfortune of meeting.
Stop it. And how many times do I have to tell you this isn't the time for jokes? Denise, come on. Just say what's really on your mind. It must have been real tough for you, not seeing me for 7 years. I bet you thought about me every day, right? Well, this is finally your chance to tell me how painful it's been, how much you've longed for my tender touch, for the warmth of my big muscular body pressed up against yours, the minty smell of my breath as I whisper sweet nothings into your ears.
I'm gonna vomit.
Huh?
I think I'm actually gonna vomit.
Denise, you intend on sticking with this hard-to-get act, huh?
I'm being bluntly honest with you, Biff. What else can I even say? You willfully misinterpret everything I say to convince yourself I'm actually head over heels in love with you.
Oh, come on, that's silly talk. You know I'm not doing that. All I'm doing is telling you I'm willing to take you back even though you're 33. You do realize if you waste this opportunity, you'll end up growing old, alone, and childless, tormented on a daily basis by the thought of what could have been if only you hadn't been so stubborn.
I can assure you, you don't have to worry about me. I'm fine without you, thanks.
You are so not fine, Denise. That's why I'm trying to help you. Don't be honest with me already, goddammit.
Biff, why did you just ignore me when I told you I'm married?
Huh? Quit fooling around. There ain't a guy on this planet who'd marry a used-up, old 33-year-old past her prime like you. If you don't take me up on my kindness here, you're done for.
Go on then, I'll humor you. That's clearly not true. Because people are finding love, and having kids, at all ages these days. Your hateful ideas have no basis in reality, and to be honest, I'm actually impressed you believe in them yourself, because you only have to take a walk around the city to see what I'm talking about. People are getting married later and later these days, and that goes for both men and women.
Sure, maybe that's true, but you're obviously an exception, because you think about me every day. How can you find love with someone else when I'm the only man in your heart?
Yep, there you go again. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Huh? What do you mean?
I genuinely don't understand it. I have absolutely no idea what makes you think I think about you every day.
Huh?
Do you fail to understand basic English? I said I don't understand what makes you think that.
Because our hearts are connected. And not speaking for 7 years don't change that. A love as true and pure as ours never disappears.
Our hearts are connected? I'm pretty sure any kind of connection we had disintegrated the moment you broke up with me.
No way. That ain't true.
Let me say it one more time. I got married ages ago.
No way.
I have 3 children.
WTF? What the hell? You serious? You have 3 kids?
Huh? So this is the part where you suddenly start taking me seriously?
But why? Yeah, but how could you have kids with some other dude when you still have feelings for me? How could you do something so absurd? I get that the thought of growing old, alone, and childless must have been terrifying, but to think you would ignore and repress your own feelings like that.
Ugh, I'm sick of telling you. Any feelings I had for you died a long time ago.
Huh?
You know, it's funny. They say it takes time to get over a breakup, but not with you. I was over you the moment you said all of those hurtful things. My feelings for you were as warm as a North Pole glacier.
No way.
I wouldn't get back with you even if the human race was about to go extinct.
Oh my God.
You need to get your head checked out, Biff, because this behavior is not normal.
No way, this can't be. I don't have anywhere to live.
Wait, what?
Listen, babe, the thing is, I've been really struggling to find a job ever since I quit my old one. Moved to New York to live with Rena. And she did fine. She found something else within her first month of arriving, but I don't know if it's because she's young. But she got used to life here straight away, and before I knew it, she had a job and was out socializing with her co-workers and making a bunch of friends, and I feel like I don't fit in here at all. It's like I slipped through the cracks and everyone forgot about me. I feel like a shadow of my former self. I can barely look people in the eye anymore. Even leaving the house is a challenge. I haven't seen daylight in a week.
Basically, you were lounging around at home all day like some lazy, neat sloth lord while Rita was out working to pay the bills? Then she kicked you out on the streets after reaching her wit's end with you after 7 years of providing for her man-child boyfriend? Did I hit the bullseye or did I hit the bullseye?
No way. That's not how it happened. Well, not exactly.
Yep, so you were sponging off her then.
You don't have to put it so coldly.
How about you answer the question I'm asking instead of taking offense with how I'm asking it? Rena probably felt anxious and uncertain about the future when she realized you were nothing but a leech who was quite happy to sponge off her hard work while lazing around the house all day. So instead of risking her entire future on someone clearly unreliable, she did the sensible thing and gave up on you instead. This might sound weird coming from me, but I think she did well to put up with you for a whole 7 years.
But
Biff, you do know you're almost 40 years old now, right? It's bad enough to be unemployed at your age, but the fact you're unemployed and not looking for work is nothing short of a disaster. Is there a reason you're not looking for work?
Well, not exactly.
If you're totally without options, why not just go back home and live with your parents? It might not seem very appealing, but I don't see what choice you have if you're not willing to look for work.
But they disowned me when I quit my job to move to New York 7 years ago.
I see. Find a job in the city then? You're in New York, Biff. There's work for those who really want it.
But I haven't worked for 7 years, and leaving the house is scary. Besides, I don't even know what kind of jobs to apply for. I saw an article the other day about how AI is taking people's jobs. How can you seriously expect me to be able to find a job when the world's gone to the dogs?
I'm not sure you have time to be making excuses, Biff. Tick-tock.
Anyway, work can wait. I need to do something about the more pressing matter of not having anywhere to sleep. I got it. How about I come stay over at your place for a little while? Maybe just for a few weeks while I find something.
Have you no conception of how ridiculous you sound?
Look, if your husband's upset with me being there, how about we both bow down to him in apology? And I'll do all the housework to show him how grateful I am. All right, that settles it. Give me your address.
No way. You are not staying with us.
What?
Why should I have to bow down to anyone?
No, listen.
Besides, I'm not even in New York anymore.
Huh, what?
My husband and I moved to his hometown when we got married.
You gotta be joking me. What am I supposed to do?
I don't know, but relying on your ex-girlfriend clearly isn't the answer.
But
If you have enough time on your hands to be boring me with this bullcrap, get your ass down to the job center, you lazy bum. Can you believe how delusional that guy is? I knew he was bad news when he broke up with me, but after what happened today, I'm convinced he's even more mentally unstable than I first thought. After I blocked him, he managed to get through to his parents after spam calling them in a desperate panic to find a place to stay. Apparently, when he finally got through to them, he mentioned my name. As for what exactly was said, we found out later through a phone call from Biff's mom to my parents' place. His mom told mine that apparently I had begged his parents to forgive him for what he did and let him move back in with them. Obviously, when my dad spoke to me about it, he and my mom immediately realized it was a big steaming pile of bullshit and passed on the message to his parents. A few days later, his mom and dad called mine directly and apologized profusely. They must have realized he was too dangerous to be let loose on society because within a few days, his dad bundled him into the back of a van, drove him back to their hometown, and now forces him to work heavy manual labor on their farm, day in and day out. Thanks for watching, folks. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to prove what a boss you are by liking and subscribing. Can you believe how arrogant Biff was? Jeez, talk about delusional. If you've ever known a Biff, let us know in the comments. We can't wait to see you again next time.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Why, hello there, Henrietta. You will be coming home to see me next Friday, won't you? Hey, Mom. Yeah, I will. My husband will be bringing me over in the car, so I'd be super grateful if you could get someplace ready for me to leave my luggage. Understood. Say no more, sweetie. A space will be cleared. I've already spoken with Katie, and she says she'll have you all the room you need prepared for when you get here, so don't you worry. Thanks. Still, don't you think things would have worked out better for you if you'd have come earlier? I'm pleased you decided on a home birth, but you're pushing it a bit fine. Aren't you 8 months pregnant now? You do work at the same company as your husband, and not only that, he's the CEO. Surely he could have pulled a few strings and seen to it that you got to go on maternity leave a little earlier. That's, actually, it was on my wishes that I carried on working this late. If anything, I'm grateful he let me. Believe me, if Chris had gotten his way, I'd have been at home resting a month ago. Really? Well, if that's what you want, I suppose it's not really my place to argue otherwise. Well, thanks, Mom. I'll see you guys next week. I'll be leaving here to make it there sometime between 1 and 2 p.m. Got it. Katie, have you still not cleaned the front hallway? And what the hell's going on with Henrietta's bedroom? You were supposed to have it fully prepared and spotless yesterday. What are you still doing in there? I know I told you to give your bedroom to your sister. And don't forget to put the baby's bed in there either. She's giving birth in a month. I'm at work right now, Mom. Can't this wait? Why do you even have to rush me like this? My sister won't even be here until next week. I'll get everything done. Just chill out, okay? Do not tell me to chill out, young lady. And I'm sick and tired of you working all the time. What do you think you are, a man? You give me all this crap about being a remote worker, but I don't buy it. I bet you're just using it as an excuse to slack off and watch anime or something, aren't you? Even if you really are working, you can't be making much money. Get off your high horse. I make more than enough money, actually. If you want to kick me out, then that's fine. I'll be out in a heartbeat. Don't say such ridiculous things. With you gone, who's supposed to care for your heavily pregnant sister? She'll be giving birth in a month. Don't be so heartless. Anyway, what's gotten into you all of a sudden? Feeling bold, are we? Oh, give me a break. There's no way a good-for-nothing loser like you could possibly be brave or capable enough to leave this house and make it on your own. You're stuck here, and don't you forget it. If there's half a brain hiding up in that head of yours somewhere, I suggest you keep your mouth shut, do what you're told, and look after your sister. Sure, whatever. Hey, Mom. I should be there in 30 minutes or so. Wow, you're a lot earlier than I was expecting. I made it off the highway, and I was expecting to be jammed up in traffic for hours on the way, longer than I expected, so I'll be arriving a little earlier than we planned. Well, that's excellent news, dear. Oh, nobody likes being stuck in traffic. The thing is, I'm out for a spot of grocery shopping at the moment. Oh, Katie should be at home, probably holed up in her room like usual. Just get her to help you if you need anything. Huh? Katie? But isn't she usually working at this time? I'd hate to disturb her while she was busy. I'm pretty sure she normally has a bunch of deadlines drawing close around this time of month. Oh, don't be silly, dear. Apparently she's one of these remote workers. Did you know? I keep hearing about them on the news and social media all the time. I guess that kind of thing is in fashion now. If we're honest, there's no way she could be making that much money from her bedroom. Pocket money at best. It pains me to have to say this about my own daughter, but she's no better than a NEET. Feel free to use her to your heart's content when you get there. Lord knows lowly grunt work is all that girl's good for. Hey, Katie, are you there? I just arrived home. Oh, hey, sis. Welcome home. Oh, thanks. Shall I help carry your stuff in from the car? Oh, listen, sis, there's something more important I need to ask you. I just saw you carrying something into the dog kennel in the back garden. But I thought that kennel belonged to our grandpa's old dog, Rusty, who died 30 years ago. I was sure it hadn't been used for anything ever since. Am I missing something? What were you doing in there? Oh, yeah, about that. What were you carrying in the kennel, sis? All of the things from my room. Huh? But why would you do that? Mom told me I have to live in there. Huh? You have to live in there? Sorry, I'm not sure I follow. It's fine. I hope you don't get the wrong idea. Granddad's dog was huge, right? I mean, he was before our time, but I've seen the pictures. It might be a kennel, but it's pretty much as big as kennels get, so it's not like I don't have space to live. Mom probably hasn't noticed, but I did some DIY and made a bunch of stuff for ease of living, and it's actually kind of a comfortable space to be in now. What the hell? You actually live in the dog kennel? But what are you doing there? Mainly just work. I also started sleeping there around a week ago. I sleep in there every night. Excuse me? The only problem I'm facing right now is the issue of what to do in summer when it gets really hot. Obviously, I don't have a cooler. I did find an old fan up in the attic, but it must be decades old because it's covered in rust and dust, and I don't think it works. I was thinking of calling a handyman and having him fit an AC system inside the kennel while Mom's not home. Katie, what the heck? Stop for a second. Could you tell me how you ended up living in the dog kennel, please? Huh? Jesus Christ, this is even more horrible than I imagined. Hey, Henrietta. Oh, I just got home. Sorry I'm so late. I bumped into an old friend in town and we went for a coffee and a catch-up. Before I knew it, it was nighttime. Hi, Mom. Did Katie help you? Yep. I had that worthless good-for-nothing sacrifice her bedroom to act as a baby room when the little one's born. Is that why she lives in the dog kennel now? Yes! I think it's perfect for a no-good waste of space like her, actually. Oh, what should we do about supper? Are you hungry? You haven't been home in ages. How about we celebrate by splashing out on some pizzas? Mom, I'm 8 months pregnant. Huh? So? Well, surely you know it's not advisable for me to be eating big, greasy slices of junk food. It's not that I don't want to, but I'm trying to look out for the baby with my diet. Oh, fair enough. Oh, that makes sense. Katie already made supper, so it's fine. Besides, I already showered. I'm too tired to do anything else tonight, so I'm gonna hit the hay. Good night. Oh, I see. Good night, dear. Katie, it's about what we discussed earlier. Oh? Mom just called you a worthless good-for-nothing. Is this how she normally treats you? Yes. What the hell is wrong with her? I always knew she had a habit of being unreasonably hard on you, but I never knew she had it in her to act like this much of a psycho. No way. Did she get worse when I moved out? Sure, she did, but I don't mind. I'm used to it now, so it's not a big deal. It so is a big deal! You've been getting a ton more graphic design work lately, right? I've seen how much they charge on those freelancing sites. You must be doing pretty well for yourself. Not only that, but didn't you land a project with Globex Corporation recently? I can only imagine how juicy their rates are. Anyway, Mom seems to be under the impression you hardly make any money. She's been treating you like dirt, hasn't she? This is unacceptable, Katie, and you don't have to live like this. Besides, there are people in this town who know about your job, right? You know how people talk and stuff. All it takes is for one of the neighbors to say the wrong thing, and Mom will find out you make far more money than she thought you did. If she finds out how much you earn, she'll get 1,000,000 times worse. She'll exploit you for every cent you have, I'm sure of it. I don't want to be exploited. Well, in that case, surely you understand this isn't the time to be laying around doing nothing. Yeah, a chill just went down my spine when I read your messages. I need to do some serious thinking about my future. It's probably best you reach a decision by the time I've had the baby. She'll probably be on her best behavior while I'm here, but I don't even want to think about how she'll get when I leave. I'll help you with whatever you need, sis, I promise. Okay. Thanks a lot, Henrietta. This really means a lot. Hey, sis, congrats on the birth! Hey, Katie, thanks. I get that you're probably still super tired, so I'll keep this short and sweet, but I've made my decision. I'm leaving home with you when you leave. All right, understood. Great. In that case, you can block Mom now. Leave the rest to me. Okay, sis, you got this. Just make sure you don't overdo it, okay? Thanks for always looking out for me. Hi, Mom. Apparently, Henrietta's getting discharged from hospital next Wednesday. That's what the doctors just told me while I was visiting her, so I figured I should let you know. I see. Okay. One more thing. Apparently her husband's parents will be visiting her the day before, on Tuesday, which means the hospital ward she's staying in is going to be unusually busy with people coming and going. I hope you don't think we're being rude, but it'd probably be better if you didn't come out of consideration for the other patients. I see. I guess it can't be helped. All right, fine. I'll keep my distance on Tuesday. More importantly, where are you right now? Get your ass to the kitchen and start cooking my supper, you slacker. If there is even a single speck of dust in Henrietta's or the baby's room, I'll have your head on a plate. I mean it, young lady. Fine. Katie? What the hell is going on here? Explain yourself! Where are Henrietta and the baby? I just went to the hospital to pick her up for her discharge, but the nurses told me she was discharged yesterday. You told me she was getting discharged today, on Wednesday. What the hell do you think you're playing at? Answer me now! Katie! Yep. Are you whining about my sister's discharge day from the hospital? You're right. It was yesterday. What? Henrietta was planning to stay at home with you for another 2 months, right? Apparently, she suddenly changed her mind and decided to go home. What the heck are you talking about? None of what you're saying makes any sense at all. I haven't even seen my granddaughter yet. Why would she leave the hospital without letting me see her? Oh, the birth might have been tough, but this is where the real fight begins. Why would she turn down my help with bringing up her newborn baby? Does she know how difficult it is to care for a little human? The fight, huh? You know, that could take on a double meaning given that you were planning to try and make Henrietta and her husband get a divorce. Huh? Wait, how do you? Thanks to your irresponsible spending, Dad's inheritance money is set to run out soon, right? But according to you, I'm just a good-for-nothing, worthless neat who makes nothing more than pocket money at best. Since you already burned your bridges with me by being so hateful and abusive, the only person you have left in the world to rely on is Henrietta, with her job at the major global company, right? Burned my bridges? What are you talking about, dear? My sister only needed the cot while she was here until the time she went back home after the birth, so you could have just had me put the baby's bed in her room with her, couldn't you? But instead, you went out of your way to have me move all of my things out of my room and forced me to live outside in the dog kennel to make a separate room for the baby. I guess my sister must have figured out what was going on when she found out I was living in the garden. She asked me to tell her everything, why I ended up living in the dog kennel, what else you'd been doing to me all this time since she moved out. I told her what you said to me. You know, that apparently she was thinking about divorcing her husband, Chris. You told me that the whole home birth thing was just a cover, that she could have a regular hospital birth with Chris there, but she was using it as an excuse to get away from him and had no intention of going home. I told her about all the lies you'd been filling my head with. Of course, I know they're lies now, but I didn't at the time. Oh my God, are you being for real right now? The whole thing with you wanting Henrietta and the baby to have separate rooms was just a ploy to lay the groundwork for her moving back in with you permanently, wasn't it? Obviously, she couldn't have her own room if I had mine, so you forced me to live in the dog kennel. Henrietta was livid when I told her. I swear I've never seen her that angry, not even close. It turns out her husband Chris is actually super nice. He was there while I told her everything, and he tried his best to calm her down while being really sympathetic towards me for everything you'd put me through. I don't know how I didn't realize it until now. Was it Stockholm Syndrome? Did I try and rationalize your abuse because I felt I had no way out? Jeez, I seriously don't know. But I know now. I'm done letting you treat me like crap, Mom. My eyes have been opened and I'm never going back to that. I've been doing some thinking and I came to a decision. You should know I just got done escaping from you. Huh? Katie, are you there? Where are all your things? All your belongings have disappeared. Of course they have. I have no intention of ever coming back, so why would I leave my things behind? But you have a responsibility to care and provide for me. Huh? And what makes you think that? You need to take responsibility for tattling about me to your sister, you goddamn irresponsible moron. Do you have any idea how much you've screwed things up for me? I don't care if I have to work you to the bone. I'm going to find you a job where you can make some real money, and you are going to work. I expect every cent of the money I spent on your education back, because it clearly didn't get you anywhere. Sorry, Mom, but I really don't think I owe you anything. Huh? I'm pretty sure Grandpa paid to put me through school. And it was my big sis who paid my college tuition fees, which means I owe you a grand total of $0. Sorry, Mom, but your absurd demands aren't going to work with me. I suggest you find some other way to come up with the money you need to get by. I already gave you 90% of my wages every time I got paid at the part-time supermarket job I had in college. Ever since Henrietta got married and moved out around the time I graduated college and started working, I've been paying every cent of the rent and utilities on your house, haven't I? Huh? The utilities? The rent? And you know that's not all, because I paid for all of the groceries whenever I did the shopping, which I did a lot. What? Basically, I've been pretty much paying for you to exist ever since my sister moved out. What? No way. Oh, this can't be. Have you lost all conception of the fact it costs money to live? I totally forgot. Yep, that's what I thought. Anyway, the bottom line here is that I don't owe you a single cent, and I've more than paid you back for anything you've ever done for me, or rather, been forced to against my will, you frickin' salary thief. Hey, don't call me that. But wait, how could you ever afford to pay all of that stuff? I thought you were a NEET. It clearly didn't go in when I told you the last million times, so here's 1,000,001. I have a proper job and I earn a proper salary. If it still hasn't made it through that thick skull of yours by now, you have no one to blame but yourself. I don't care what happens to you, and you're not my problem anymore. Oh my God, Katie, no! How could you be so horrible? I'll believe you from now on, I swear. Oh, please don't do this. You must be one of the only people on Earth capable of being condescending while begging for mercy. You're unreal, Mom. Huh? I don't need your I don't need anything from you. I'm not coming home, and that's final. My sister and I are both done with your crap, and we never want to see you again. What? Oh, Henrietta too? Oh my God, you can't be serious. Why would your sister do this to me? What did you think she was going to do when she found out you were plotting to get her divorced to her husband? Anyone in their right mind would tell you where to stick it after that, and that's exactly what she's doing. Fine, tell her I'm willing to forget the question of her divorcing Chris if she gives me another chance. Can you do that? There goes the condescension again. You can't help yourself, can you? Huh? This is a waste of time. Bye. Katie! My big sister was always our mom's favorite. There was Henrietta, always getting the best grades in her class, winning at every sports day, getting into the best college in the state, loved, cherished, and adored. And then there was me, my only talent to draw pictures, disdained and hated. My sister told me this later on. But apparently the reason she decided on the home birth was to check on the situation with me and my mom at home and carry out a rescue operation if necessary. After we made our escape, she patted me on the head and said, "I'm sorry it took so long, sis." I, being a big crybaby, couldn't handle the emotion and burst into tears on the spot. As for my mom, who got left behind all on her own, no longer able to afford the rent on the house, she had no choice but to go back to our hometown to live with her great aunt. Last I hear, she currently spends her days being worked like a dog on her aunt's farm for less than minimum wage. For someone who spent so long living rent-free off of the hard work and effort of others, it must be pretty stressful. Oh well, she's not my problem now. Thanks for watching, folks. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to help out the channel by liking and subscribing. Did you think Mom got what she deserved in this one?
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Chase, I'm sorry for asking this while we're in the middle of this family vacation, but this morning, can I go somewhere else for the day?
What? Where are you looking to go, Heidi? Aren't you already out taking a walk by yourself?
Yes, I am. I just walked all the way down to the train station out here, and here I ran into one of my old friends by coincidence.
Oh, I suppose things like that do sometimes happen.
They're staying at a resort nearby to here as well. And they just asked me to go on a day trip with them today to some of the local hot springs that are around this area. So if you're all right with it, I'd like to go with my friend today so that we can catch up with one another while enjoying this part of the country. It's been 10 years now since we've last met, so it would be nice to talk more.
I see. I'm sure you guys won't be seeing one another again for some time after this, so please go with them.
Awesome. Then I'm going to head out with them now. I'm sorry for asking about this out of nowhere, so please take good care of Kiki for today.
Sure thing. Have a fun time with your friend. Heidi? I already told you this morning, but after I get out of work today, I'm gonna head over to my sister's house to drop off the gifts we got for them during our little trip, so I'm not gonna be home until later tonight. I'll be staying over there with them until after we've had dinner, and then I'll start heading home. Hey, can't you at least respond to me with something today? How long are you gonna keep ignoring all of my texts? It's been a week now, Heidi. Ever since we got back from our family vacation, you've been completely ignoring me. I can see that you're still giving Kiki some attention, but when it comes to me, you act like I'm not even around you. I was asked by Kiki this morning while taking her to preschool what happened to you, and If you continue to act this way around me, as Kiki's parents, she's going to grow more and more worried about us, and that's not a good thing for a young child to have to experience. If there's something I've done wrong that's gonna upset you, you need to tell me. If you don't, I'm never going to understand what I've done wrong or what's happened to you. So would you please give me an idea about what's going on here? Why have you been ignoring me for a whole week now? I can see that you're leaving all my texts on read right now, which means you know how I feel about you ignoring me.
Chase, thank you so much for bringing over those gifts for us from your recent family vacation. You really know just what to get everyone. This thing that you got me, this figure, it goes really well with all the rest of my decorations in our lounge room. And of course, we have all been enjoying these jerkies that you got for us.
I'm so happy to hear that you're all happy about the gifts we brought home.
By the way, Chase, when you came over here just a little bit ago, you didn't seem to be doing all that great. Did something happen to you after coming back from that trip?
Oh, so you could tell that something was up then?
I sure could. You looked so down about something, which made it seem almost like you hadn't just taken a vacation with your family at all. I thought you would have been a little more refreshed and happy about that little trip.
I see. You are my sister after all, so there was no hiding my feelings from you.
You need to tell me what's going on right now. I'd like to help you get over whatever troubles you're having.
Thank you, Serena. Now, to tell you the truth about what happened, ever since we all got back from that family vacation, Heidi has been acting very weird.
Can you give me a little more information there?
Well, she's been ignoring me completely for the past week.
She has been? Do you know why she is?
If I knew the reason why, then I probably wouldn't be as upset about things as I am. But anyway, the thing I'm most worried about right now is Kiki and the effects Heidi ignoring me might have on her. Also, this past week, Heidi hasn't really been helping out with any of the chores inside the house. She's still taking care of Kiki when she has the chance to, but besides that, she's not really doing anything. Heidi has really been ignoring me and anything that has to do with me all week long besides Kiki.
Kiki is 5 years old now, right? When kids get to that age, they tend to become really aware of their parents' actions and start to take after them.
If I've done something wrong, I'd really like to know about it so that I can apologize. But I have no clue what I've done, if I've done anything at all. So if Heidi is waiting on me to apologize to her for something, it's never going to happen.
Well, that's a very good point. So there isn't anything you can remember from the trip or right after coming home from that trip that might have upset her? I think if she started to ignore you right after that trip, then that means something had to have happened during or right after all of that.
Huh.
For example, was there a time where Heidi was just trying to find alone time and just kind of walked away from you and Kiki for a bit?
What?
Did something like that happen? Her going off by herself for a bit without the rest of you?
That did happen, yes, but she made sure to tell me she was going off by herself first. However, she wasn't alone then because she told me that she ran into one of her old friends who she hadn't seen for 10 years and wanted to know if it was okay to spend the day with them. So I said okay to that.
An old friend of hers. Were they a man or a woman?
What?
She didn't spend the whole day with a man, right?
Actually, I never asked her who they were, and she never said him or her when speaking about them with me. I guess I just assumed they were a woman at the time, but... There's no way, right?
Well, I was just asking if they were a man or a woman, so we're not sure yet who they really were. I'd really like to know now, though, after what you've told me.
But dang it, a man.
What? Do you remember something about her being with a man that day?
No, I'm not sure if this has anything to do with that friend she was hanging out with that day.
Tell me what you're thinking.
This is something that happened before her and I even started to date, but back then she had been really good friends with this other guy from her class, and they were always hanging out with one another. At one point, that man approached her about starting a relationship, but it never got anywhere because soon after that, he had to move away due to his parents' jobs. That happened around 10 years ago. So I was just thinking that perhaps he was the friend that she ran into? But that might not be the case at all. That just popped into my head as you were talking about what might have happened.
Oh? Both you and Heidi went to the same middle and high school together, right? So I can totally understand why you know so much about the other friends she had been with then and about how she had that small relationship with the other guy before dating you.
Well, back then, her and I weren't really that close to one another, and we only started to really talk to one another after graduating from high school. We met at a small reunion, and that's where things really kicked off. She was sitting next to me during dinner at the reunion, and her phone was dying, but she had forgot her portable charger. So she asked to borrow mine, and that's when we got to talking.
Did she choose to sit next to you then, or was the seating assigned by reservation?
We were at a buffet, so we chose to sit wherever we wanted. Originally, I think one of her friends was sitting at the same table as me, and that's why she came over and joined us to eat.
Oh, I see. What about those friends of yours? Where are they now?
I have no idea now. I don't think Heidi was that close to them either, so the only times we've ever really seen them was at one or two other class reunions.
Well, we can leave that all for now. First, we just need to find out what the reason is for Heidi ignoring you. If you'd like, you can leave Heidi with me, and I can try to find out what's been going on with her ever since you all got back from vacation.
Wait, is that really okay with you?
I'm not the most free person in the world right now, but I think I can take some time to look into her for you.
But
I understand that you don't want to do this to your own wife because you don't want to think she's done anything wrong. But remember that the longer you and Heidi are at odds, the worse the outcome could be for Kiki in the future.
well, that's true.
Then please let me help you here.
All right, thank you so much for helping me, Serena.
Heidi, hello! What? Hi, Serena. Good evening, actually. It's been a long time since you and I last talked. Now that you mention it, it has been close to 2 years now since the last time we chatted. That's right. You ended up getting remarried, and then you moved out of town, and since then we've never really had a chance to meet. Anyway, what did you want to talk about? Right, this isn't anything important, though. I just saw you going into a hotel today with another man around lunchtime or so. What? Could that have been your boyfriend or something? Oh, I haven't spoken to my little brother about anything yet, so don't be too worried. What? I see. Serena? I see. Now that I think about it, I guess things are all right. What are you going on about right now? Actually, on that family vacation recently, I ran into a man I'm destined for. The man you're destined for? The man who I had always had a crush on back in school. He and I ran into one another while I was on vacation with your brother and Kiki. Back in the day, he and I were very close to one another. But just before we could get anywhere, he had to leave town due to his dad's job or something like that. In the end, I was never able to see him again, and things turned out the way they had been for the last 10 years. So, you ran into him again? That's right. And all of this happened because I decided to go on a walk by myself that morning. I just had this feeling like I needed to go somewhere by myself, and meeting with my old crush again was what that feeling was all about. He was out there as well because his family had been staying at a resort there, and so when we ran into one another, we started walking around together and catching up. Isn't that just amazing to you? This really shows that he and I are meant for one another, destined for one another. And while he and I were catching up, he confessed to me that ever since he had to leave with his parents and move away, he had never stopped thinking about me. When those words of love came out of his mouth, I fell right into his arms, and we got a hotel nearby where we spent time together for 4 hours. In that room, we let 10 years of love we had for one another out, and that's where we realized we could not be separated from one another again. Then, after making love to one another, we talked more and more, and I found out that he is now living close to my house, and this is about a 20-minute drive away. So ever since we got back from our vacations, we have been seeing one another a lot. We are both the happiest couple ever. Is that right? Now you can probably see how things have become a bit tough for me recently. My love for my soulmate is never going to die out, and because of that, I need to be with him no matter what anyone else tells me. I want to have a talk with Chase about it, but I haven't really been able to get myself to approach him, so I'm a bit stressed out. Is that right? But why are you able to talk to me about all of that? You were able to find yourself the man of your dreams, right? So you should be able to understand how I feel now after finding the man I've been destined for. The man you're destined for? The reason you had to get a divorce from your ex-husband was due to cheating, right? Yes, that's right. Then when you found your true love, the man you're destined for, you chose to get married to him. But that happened after I found out that my ex had been cheating on me, and I was able to milk him dry of all his money through settlements and child support. What? My current husband, the man you're saying I was destined for? He and I met at the bar that I've been working at for years now after I got divorced. Huh? So you didn't get divorced because you were the one who cheated? Why did you think I was the one who cheated? I heard before that you had always been coming home very late when you were still married to your ex. And you would always try to hide what you'd been doing from everyone, like when you'd go out to eat and such. Oh, so you just assumed I was cheating on him because of that? Just because I was coming home late from work and not talking a whole lot about what I was doing, you thought I was the one who had been cheating? That's a little narrow-minded of you, Heidi. Please do not compare me to other unfaithful people just because I had a different schedule compared to most people. Then why were you always out of the house so late at night? I heard that you were even coming home so late that it was around 5 in the morning before you got home. The kind of work I was doing was a bit different from the normal 9 to 5 most people get to enjoy, which is why my schedule was always very erratic and I was coming home so late in the night. You weren't working a normal 9 to 5 job? Correct. I was working as a detective for the police. You worked as a detective? But I left that job when I became pregnant and then had my daughter. But during the time I had been pregnant, my husband was cheating on me, and that's what led to our divorce. And I'll have you know, I was the one who found out that he had been cheating on me and collected all the evidence to take him to court with. What? Not only was I pregnant at the time, but I was an ex-detective, yet my ex still had the balls to try and cheat on me. He deserved what he got in the end. Then that would mean no way. Just like you're thinking, I've gone and gathered all the evidence I needed of you cheating on my brother. You're joking. And the reason for me texting you today like this? I wanted to talk to you about what's going to happen next now that I have concrete evidence of you cheating. And since you've been completely ignoring Chase this whole time, I was the only person he could rely on to get this show on the road. First, I was just going to try and read you a little bit before telling you about how I know you've been cheating, but instead, you actually assumed that I was the one who had cheated on my ex, and that's what made you think you could just open up to me about cheating on my brother, and then say everything was okay because I should have been able to understand your reasoning for why you did it. Well, thanks to that, I now have you confessing to everything you've done. I really appreciate your carelessness today, Heidi. What the hell?
Heidi? This time you have to be ready to talk with me, right? It has been a month now of you never talking to me and leaving all the chores untouched in the house. Luckily, I had my sister's help through all of this, and with her guidance, I was able to deal with you, always ignoring me and leaving me in charge of everything at home. But now Kiki is crying because she can no longer take having her parents acting this way. We are leaving forever. Goodbye.
What? What do you mean you're leaving forever? Goodbye? Are you taking Kiki too?
This place was being rented by me, so in the near future I will be ending the agreement I made, and you will have to leave this house as well. So I'd get started on packing up your things so that you aren't hit with a fine by the landlord.
Hold on a second. I will confess to having been cheating on you, and I will allow us to get a divorce, but you can't take Kiki away from me. I was planning on getting full custody of her in the divorce and then having you pay child support to me for her next 13 years. Listen to me, Chase. At least give me some kind of a response. Who the hell do you think you are ignoring me?
Right after that, I started to work on the divorce between Heidi and I, and that began with me getting in touch with a lawyer. The man who Heidi had been cheating on me with was also married, which meant that we had to contact his wife about what had been happening as well. And that led to them having a very rough divorce. At least for myself, I was able to get full custody of Kiki, child support from Heidi for the next 13 years, more than half of the properties her and I shared, and a large settlement. Overall, this divorce was a major success for me, and eventually it became a success for that other man's wife as well. When the divorce did happen and Heidi was asked to pay up, she cried that she had never worked a job in her life before, since she was always a housewife to me. And so in order to help her out one last time, my older sister offered her a job working for her husband's company, which is a mining company. It turns out that the man Heidi had been cheating on me with was already working at that company, and so the both of them would now be forced to work together in some of the deepest parts of that mine. They were both picked up by a really old and battered bus that operated with the mine and taken away to the middle of nowhere to start their long journeys of being corrected by very tough and grueling physical labor. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.